9 into 12 is classes. And after 12 is when they start having regular camp things, like swimming, horseback riding, camping, or we got a nice spot. It's a hike. It's a 1.5 mile one way up a mountain. And when you get up to the top of the mountain, it's a surprise for the kids.
Is that right?
They enjoy it's worth getting up there.
Yeah,
I can't tell you what's up there.
yeah. Well, it's like Moses. They found Moses up on the mountain. And that's why
Cool. What we're going to be doing on Our World, we're going to be giving people the website and also contact information. The kids who go to the camp, they're all, is it tri-state, New York, or is it anywhere?
It's
Eligibility I'm talking about.
yeah, it's universal. We have kids coming from Bermuda as far as California.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
You know, it's for some reason a lot of people don't know about it. And it because it's all volunteer, a lot of people don't want to be involved because they can't get paid. Matter of fact, you wind up spending a lot of your own money just to do things, you know. But it's worth it.
Yeah, it sounds like a fantastic program, and I have to tell you, I'm a little bit, you know, I don't want to say embarrassed, but I never heard of it. I mean, I knew about The Entertainer, you know, and I saw something on YouTube the other day, and I saw that he had performed on Ed Sullivan 58 times, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
And yet, you know, this is not part of the mainstream celebrations, and you know, the work that you guys doing is amazing, because it's easy to jump behind the stuff that the rest of America says is okay for you to get behind. It's totally different to find somebody who gave so much, and you guys are giving so much. Because I know about the nonprofits and trying to do stuff for kids and reaching into your own pocket when your own rent is due and you know your phone bill is due.
Yeah.
But you know, you can't leave them kids hanging out there. You know, so we will continue to give the website for the petition drive, contact numbers to get kids there, and of course for donations. You know, so you'd like to add something to that?
Yeah, you know, Darryl, one of the things that's really important is, you know, for the entertainment value. You know, they said Moms Maybe. Moms Maybe was also Ed Sullivan favorite. And she happened to start out in vaudeville. She was a showgirl, beautiful showgirl, who became to be one of the premier comedians of our time. She was a female comedian in the game of stand-up. And she was addressing issues that we still fighting today, you know. And you know, so I take my hat off to moms. Matter of fact, when I first got into the business, I fashioned myself behind her. It's kind of hard to, you know, for a male to fashion himself behind a female. You know, a lot of people didn't know moms or her history, but once I studied her and her style of humor, and the way her delivery and her timing. I remember one of her funniest jokes was she said she went to a restaurant down in Alabama, and she pulled up in a white Cadillac. She had a white chauffeur, and she went through the door, and they said, "Well, moms, you know we don't serve your colored people here." She said, "Good, because I don't eat them." You know, moms was moms. She had, you know,
She lives in Greenberg, right?
yeah,
She had a house in
Greenberg, and that was her friend, Pegleys. So for all the entertainers out there, like Tashina Arnold, they mentioned Tashina Arnold. Tashina Arnold, if you guys don't know, one of her roles that we remember her by is Pam from the Martin Show. But she also did a powerful movie called Alina Baker Story, about one of the first black women that was educated in the state of, I believe it was Georgia. You know, it's very important. Our history, you know, the black experience is deeply rooted in American history, and it's American for us to to keep our history going. I'll get a little stumble when I start getting serious, but as long as the joke ain't behind it, it's for real.
Let me say this, because I knew Jimmy Mack for a very long time, and before he really jumped out there, he got to test his jokes on me. And I knew he was headed places because he had some good stuff, but oftentimes, our comedians are the most observant. When you listen to Richard Pryor and even Chris Rock today and some of the others, it's always struck me how the comedians who see funny things, that a lot of us don't see, also see social stuff. You know what I'm saying? Also see justice and what have you. And so I'm saying that to say Jimmy Mack has been given, to this community, these kids for a long time, and I've known Brother Banks for a long time also. So when I knew you guys were working together, it was a no-brainer for me to find out how I can contribute.
Man,
So
I'm glad of that, Darryl, because you are a hard person to make laugh. Darryl don't laugh at everybody's jokes. Darryl used to say, I could bring you up on charges for that joke. You understand what you're doing? You're setting out people back 20 years. And I really appreciate it, Darryl. We're still in the struggle. And all the comedians out there, when you have an audience in front of you and you have something to say something. Don't just go to the mic and talk about the everyday things that don't really matter. You got an audience in front of you. Laughter is a gift. The reason why we can observe things like Darryl said is because laughter is the flip side to crying. Sometimes situations are so bad that we have to laugh. And that's what we had to do through our slave experience, and that's what we're going to have to do through our victory experience. We're going to have to learn to laugh sometimes. But even through the laughter, let's listen to the good parts. And this definitely is a good part. I'm glad I'm a part of this project. Send money, lots of money. And don't forget, send it to Jimmy Mack in care of Jimmy Mack.
right, don't listen to him. He's joking now. We're gonna let y'all know when he's joking, but we will continue to give y'all the information so that you can help out. And then also, we probably should look at doing some talent shows or something in the area. And so, if you're looking for entertainers, if there's entertainers out there who want to come forward and help out, they should also contact the brothers who are working on this effort. If you sing, dance, tell jokes, spoken word, whatever the case may be, everybody has a role to play. So step up, and even you go to your class. The kids that listen, go to your class, talk to the principal, talk to the teacher, fill up a coffee can. And let me tell you something about that. I took a coffee can to one of them change things at Stop and Shop, $85, babe.
Okay, adds up.
Don't sleep on that.
That's
All
right.
right,
Want a cup of coffee.
get a few coffee cans, but there's a lot of ways that people can contribute. Anybody else want to jump in?
Yeah, I just want to say real quick that the one thing that really impressed me, because I Googled Peg Leg and his history, and I just want to say that people like Frank Sinatra, which I didn't know, at the time, Frank, because again, Peg Leg came up in that era, Frank said, hey, listen, you know what? He told Dean Martin, he told Jerry Lewis, he says, Peg started this thing over on the other side of the Catskills, because as we know, he wasn't allowed, and neither was Sammy Davis Jr. allowed to perform in those clubs back then.
That's crazy.
Okay, so he said, hey, look, he told Dean, he told Jerry, we're going over to Pegs, we're going to support him, and I knew that Frank was a great humanitarian for his time. And even I found out that he spoke to then President Kennedy about the plight of the African American movement, So this just goes to show. And as Jimmy said, when he went there, they had pictures on the walls of all these great entertainers. But because I believe, James, they weren't back taxes, was it? What happened with those pictures?
When the new owner bought the place, one of the agreements was that they were going to keep the pictures. So most of the pictures are in storage in the village of Carl Hansen. Right. And there's no pictures up on the wall. We have Peg's picture up on the wall. And I think in the bar area we have a few pictures, but the majority of the pictures are in storage somewhere.
Okay. Okay. Now we have other people that are going to be coming to the microphone soon. I'm going to be ducking out soon. I have another commitment. Our brother Don Bennett is going to fill in, as he's done so many times. And I just, my number is available. You guys need to do this again. Contact me, Don, whatever the case may be, and let's do it again. And let's keep it going. There's a lot of work out there for us to do in the community, but the stuff like this seems to fall through the cracks. So again, I just want to commend you guys for stepping up and doing what you're doing. And I know you put a lot of your own resources into something like this. And so I want to, say on the air that I'm committing to help out, any way I can. We're going to be going to another break. You're listening to Our World on 1420 AM, WLNA.
All right, I'm gonna don't forget to get my face, man. You get me? Did you get some while I was talking?
It's rolling, yeah.
All right, then get this side.
They was getting your piece all along.
Yeah, the back of my head.
And no headshots.
No, you get my headshot.
What's your name? Welcome back to Our World on 1420 WLNA. I'm Don Bennett. As you heard, Daryl had to duck out for another appointment. And I am joined now by Bruce Meyer and John Simmons, who are part of the project to save the property of Peg Lake Bates, which is being used right now as a away educational relaxation fun camp for our children in the community. And I know that because my niece and nephew spent a few summers up there. And in fact, I even drove up there once to greet my niece because they refused to visit me in Westchester when they were here. Now, their grandma lives in Brooklyn. And I told Jerry, look, whenever they're here, let me know. I'll come down. But I had to drive all the way up to Kasaki to visit my niece. But it was a good thing because I did have some good time up there. I was up there for about 3 hours. And so let's talk about this, the camp itself. The Freedom Camp, as it is right now, is done on 2 weeks for boys, 2 weeks for girls. What are some of the things that the students are learning while they're there? You said earlier to Daryl that there's an education piece on law, history, and I guess basic math and English also, right?
Yes. And one of the highlights, Alton Maddox, attorney at war, comes up there and give classes on law. And he teaches the kids on the basics of a courtroom, and he gives the kids cases that they have to study and prepare to go to court. The last week of the camp, they have a mock trial where they actually try the case. And this is the highlights of the whole camp. When these here kids get these here cases, they don't play around. They go to their room and they study. Sometimes they stay up all night long. My 2 grandsons, well, 3 grandsons, now it's 4 grandsons that go up to the camp. And one of the grandsons, he was a district attorney for a case. And he told Alton, he says, Alton, I'm going to win this case. I'm going to send somebody to jail.
They know that, a lot of jail stuff.
Well, the thing is that it's somewhat frustrating that more families aren't able to take part of that opportunity. Part of it because they don't know about it. Part of it is financial. And I think the other thing is that, as you said earlier, they're looking for the Disney World experience versus the other things that are going to make their students, their children better for the future. Because I really do believe that my nephew and niece have benefited from being at the camp, particularly my niece. she's a little bit more serious than my nephew. She is going to be studying biochemistry